Would you like to make your Halloween themed images really dramatic? In this video, you're going to see how to use Lightroom Classic to do just that. I'm Darlene with Digital Photo Mentor. This is a clip from a recent live stream I did editing spooky subscriber submitted images. So if you're ready to see some dramatic pumpkins, let's begin. So Anne sent me these cute little pumpkins with faces and feathers, and I wanted to make them a little bit scarier looking. So I darkened the whole thing, but you also notice that I shifted the colors of the feathers because the green was too green. All right. So I'm going to start from scratch on this one and show you what I've done. So taking this one into the develop module, okay, we are in Lightroom. The first thing I want to do is potentially look for a different camera profile. Okay, so camera profiles are up here, right? And I wanted one that was a little bit moodier. So I kind of looked in the artistic one, and I'm looking for something that had maybe some color. I didn't like those. I think it was a modern one that I chose. This one. Okay, so I think I started with this one here. Somewhere in this range, or maybe this one. See, it's adding a bit of contrast. So I like what it's doing. Let's go with number 7. And modern number 7 is this camera profile. It comes with Lightroom. There's nothing special you have to do. If you have Lightroom, you have it. I use modern number 7 a lot, actually. Right? And when you apply a camera profile that's not actually one that belongs to your camera, you can actually dial the effect up even more intense or lower it. Okay, so I'm going to go more intense because I like that contrast. Okay, let's close that up. So look at the difference. Oops, let me do a reset here. So what happened there was I was trying to do my before and after, but because I made a virtual copy, the before was the finished image already. So I just had to do a reset and copy the history settings to before. So now the original image will be the before. Then I just have to go a step back. Okay, so now when I go before and after, you can see that that profile has already taken me part way there. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to deal with the green of the feathers. Okay, so I could go into the new color mixer. So the HSL panel is now called Color Mixer in Lightroom 13. And you can go in here and you can adjust, the luminance of the greens, right? But I went and I did point color instead, right? So point color allows you to get more specific. So I just clicked on the green, right? And then it allows you to visualize which colors are going to be affected just by this checkbox here. So I want to make sure that I've got the lighter greens covered as well. The darker greens. I'm just expanding the range here, like so. See how it's shifting as I go this way? Okay, so I want this full range here. And I don't want to get the pumpkins. See, if I go this way, I start to get the pumpkins. So I want to just make sure I'm not getting any of the orange. So now all that's done is done a precise selection of the greens. So using this point color, it allows you to more precisely adjust specific parts of your image. Okay, so I'm going to desaturate a little bit and turn them into more orange. Okay, so now you can see I missed a bit. Okay, so I'm missing this one right here. So I need something brighter. There we go. See, it was that luminance range I was missing. So I extended the luminance range. Now I've got it. Okay. And I'm going to brighten them. I think I did something like that. Right? So it's a little bit more orange. We can also affect it this way. There we go. There we go. Increase the range. A little more orange to match the pumpkins because the green was just too much, right? The next thing I did was I wanted to darken this whole area here. So I'm going to use the mask and I'm going to choose background and cross my fingers that it selects all the stuff around the pumpkins, which it did. Okay, so I'm just going to go darker, and that's how we get that whole, see that? So darker, and it is picking up a lot of the feathers as well. Now, if I want to get this little bit here, all I need to do is add to this mask. Okay, so I can just do that by selecting object or brush. I'm just going to brush it in. Okay, so let's just brush in some darkening up here. Okay, so anything that's been missed that I think, aha, see my feather was too low. So see how my painting showed up? Keep your feather high. That will keep it as a softer edge brush. That looks better. There we go. So I want to make sure I'm getting all these bits that are too bright. You can even do the top. Like so. Okay, so now we can see that the mask, if I turn the mask back on with the O key, okay, so it's masking those areas. I can bring the highlights down, which lowers that contrast. Bring the blacks way down. Look at how spooky. And I also lowered the detail because I didn't want this much texture. So I don't want the texture. Let's lower the clarity. Oops, that's sharpness. Let's do texture, clarity. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And sharpness all the way down to the bottom. Okay. I could also add some grain if I wanted to onto the background to make it a little bit spookier. Actually, that works kind of nicely. So I'm putting some grain on the background. So now you can see with that one mask, we're transforming this image, right? Like so. Then I just added a really strong edge vignette. And let's go back to basic. Now I might just double check. The highlights aren't clipping. I'm just using the Alt Option key. Like so. I'm going to do the Shift double click, which sets the white point. A little too bright for me. So let's take a look at the before and after. I'm actually going to dial the saturation down a little bit. I kind of want it not quite so orange. And there we go. Let's see how close I got to my first edit. Let's compare. So I'll put the first edit on the left. My Lightroom is slowing down on me here. Oh, see, I did lower the color a little bit more. So my first edit was on the left. I definitely lowered the color a bit more, and I took more saturation out of the feathers. Okay, so if we want to do that, I can go back in here and go back to develop and just edit the mask. So that's the beautiful thing about Lightroom with these masks. This is all non-destructive editing, right? So I can go in here. Which one am I on? I'm on the wrong one. Okay, so this is the one that I just did. I can go back to the color mixer and remove more saturation. Okay, and we can darken the feathers. There we go. Okay, so removing the saturation. And then from the mask, I think I took some saturation from there as well. So that's under color. Nope, not curve. Where's color? Color. And then just lower the saturation a little bit. Okay. Keep in mind that even though I've used the point curve, I can still go back here and use the color mixer, right, which is the HSL. So I can still lower the orange brightness and saturation right from here. Okay, so using the point color doesn't mean your HSL sliders disappear. All right, let's see how close we are now. That's closer. And I added a bit of grain. Looks like I shifted the color a little bit as well, right? But you get the idea on this one that the plan was it was really bright and airy, and I wanted to make it dark and spooky. So that was my goal. Check out my complete Lightroom course for everything you need to know about Lightroom Classic. There's a link below for you in the description area. If you enjoy my teaching style and you want to learn Lightroom Classic from start to finish, then it might just be the course for you. If you'd like to watch another video here on YouTube, check out one on the screen now.